You are reliable, you are disciplined, you plan ahead, you follow through, and when something is going wrong, you are already 3 steps ahead fixing it. Everyone around you sees competence, and maybe that is exactly the problem. The mistake most high-functioning people make is not laziness, it is not avoidance, not people-pleasing, not lack of ambition. It is control. Specifically, the kind of control that looks like a strength from the outside, but is quietly running on fear from the inside. I see this in my practice more than almost anything else. Someone comes in, they are successful, organized, respected, but they cannot sleep because their mind will not stop cycling through scenarios. Their partner feels monitored, their team feels micromanaged, and they feel permanently tense, like one dropped ball could undo everything. That is not discipline, that is fear wearing the costume of discipline. Here's what control actually is psychologically. Control is a protection strategy. It develops early, usually in childhood, when things felt unpredictable or unsafe. Maybe the environment was chaotic. Maybe someone important was unreliable. Maybe mistakes had real consequences. The child learns, if I manage everything, nothing bad can happen. If I stay on top of it all, I stay safe. And that belief gets carried right into adulthood. The behaviors it produces are very recognizable. Meticulous order, perfectionism, extreme difficulty delegating anything important, monitoring a partner's behavior for signs of something going wrong, rigid rules around health, appearance, food, and routines, and the one most people do not identify as control at all, rumination. That loop of repetitive thinking that runs at night, replaying conversations, rehearsing future problems, trying to mentally solve what has not even happened yet. Rumination feels like problem solving. It is not. It is anxiety pretending to be productive. Underneath all of it is a very specific fear, not just fear in general. The fear underneath control is the fear of chaos, of being caught off guard, of something catastrophic happening that you did not predict and could not prevent. Psychologist Stephanie Stahl describes it as a childlike fear of annihilation. And that is actually accurate, because the part of you that drives this behavior did not develop past that original moment of feeling threatened. So what does the person actually believe? Something like, if I do not manage this, it will fall apart. If I let go, something terrible will happen. If I cannot predict the outcome, I cannot survive it. The control is a response to those beliefs. And since those beliefs are never directly examined, the control never stops. Now, here's where relationships get strained. When you need to control outcomes, you start to control people, not necessarily consciously, but you monitor, you correct, you reorganize what someone else already did. You struggle to trust anyone with a task unless you can check their work. Your partner feels less like a partner and more like someone who keeps almost doing it right. Your colleagues feel the same, and the harder you clamp down, the more tense the environment becomes. There's also a passive aggression element that often goes unnoticed. When a high-control person feels overwhelmed but cannot express it directly, the frustration leaks. Forgetting things, stonewalling, subtle withdrawal. And then they genuinely feel like the victim of an unfair situation, not recognizing that the dynamic was largely built by their own behavior. That inversion is painful to look at, but it is important. The body gets involved too. When your mind is permanently running worst-case scenarios and monitoring for threats, the body holds that tension, jaw clenching, shoulder tightness, sleep disruption. The body becomes a secondary target for control, sometimes producing obsessive health monitoring or extreme discipline around appearance. These are not random symptoms, they're the same pattern showing up in a different place. So what actually helps? The first move is not to just relax. That advice is useless to a high-control person. The first move is to look directly at the fear. There's a useful technique for this. When you catch yourself spiraling about a potential outcome, ask, what is the actual worst case here? Then think it all the way through. Do not stop at the scary part. Keep asking, and then what? What would I do? Who could help? Would I survive this? 9 times out of 10, you would. The catastrophe in your mind is larger than any likely reality. Stahl frames fear as probability times catastrophe. Control-driven people overestimate both. The chances of failure are lower than they feel, and the consequences are usually survivable. Reminding yourself of that with specific, concrete arguments, not vague reassurance, actually reduces the urgency. The second practical step is to give your mind somewhere to put the worry. Carrying everything in your head all the time is exhausting. One habit that helps: spend 30 minutes a day writing through whatever is looping, not journaling in a vague sense. Specifically getting the thoughts out of your head and onto paper so your mind can stop holding them. When it is written down, your brain registers it as handled enough to release the grip, at least temporarily. Then consciously redirect your attention. The third shift is harder but more important: learning to negotiate rather than control. When something feels off or someone is not doing things the way you would, the default is to either take over or silently resent. Neither works. What does work is honest communication, saying no directly when something is not possible, offering a real alternative. A task done under resentment or a need managed silently for years damages far more than an honest refusal ever would. The deeper shift underneath all of this is trust. Not naive trust, not pretending things always work out, but building enough internal confidence that you believe you can handle what comes, even if you did not predict it. Control is not a character flaw. It is a protection strategy that made sense at some point. The problem is it never stopped. The child who needed to manage everything to feel safe is still running the strategy, but you are not that child anymore. You have more resources now, more experience, more capacity. The discipline that got you here is genuinely valuable. The fear driving it is what needs to change. Real strength is not being unaffected by uncertainty. Real strength is being able to function inside it without needing to control everyone and everything around you just to breathe.